popular author of the recent New York Times bestseller book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson, essentially was about to get married and decided, I'm going to crowdsource the ultimate relationship guide to end all relationship guides from 1,500 readers.
Wow.
Okay? All of which had to have been in a relationship 10 years or more and were in a happy relationship. Now, these are kind of arbitrary and also subjective concepts, so this is by no means a clinical study. But we're going to be talking about it anyway. What he found out, and the most interesting thing after combing through pages and pages, like hundreds of thousands of pages of data, was that the answers were incredibly repetitive. So we broke it down. We're going to get to a couple of them. And then we're going to talk about why I'm going to die alone. And given that you're in a very successful and happy relationship, I want to ask you if you agree with these or disagree with any of these. Now, number one is be together for the right reasons. Now, a lot of these are going to sound kind of stupid and pretty vague, but let's talk about it anyway. Don't ever be with someone because someone else pressured you to. Now, there are wrong reasons, like pressure from friends and family, or feeling like a loser because you were single and you settled with the first person that came along, or being together for an image because the relationship looked good on paper or in photos, or being naive and young and hopelessly in love and that you thought that would solve everything. Another one, before we get to every single point one by one, I want to hear your thoughts on directly the point I mentioned.
Like,
so what do you think?
Agree with that?
Yeah, do you agree?
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of like personal input that you might have on this?
Well, just really quick, because I think that you make a good point about some of the responses that he found do seem a little sort of easy, maybe trite, something you've heard before, frivolous or whatever, or just very pretty, like be together for the right reasons. How many times have you heard that on The Bachelor? Like, I'm here for the right reasons. But I think it's because it might be easy to say, but it's a lot harder to do and to implement in your own life. So while it's sort of a cutesy thing to write down, it really is true. You want to be with someone because you think they're awesome and that they make you a better person, and that's the right reason. But it's so easy to be with someone for the wrong reasons, and then you justify it so often in your head that it feels like it's the right reason. But yes, I know it sounds short and sweet, but I think it is accurate.
Okay, speaking of keeping it short and sweet, you must do that because we have a lot of points to get to. Number two, have realistic expectations about relationship and romance. So what they're referring to here is that happily ever after doesn't exist, and you have to be realistic about love even fading away. And the most important factor in a relationship, number three, the most important factor in a relationship is not communication. This was kind of surprising to me because you always hear that. You're like, communication is key. It's the most important thing. That's what relationship therapists tell everyone. Mm-hmm. But respect, that is actually the most important factor. It's not sexual attraction. It's not looks. It's not shared goals, religion, or lack of, or nor is it love. There are times when you won't feel love for your partner. That's the truth. But you never want to lose respect for your partner, says one writer, basically. And they said that this was when Mark Manson actually noticed the trend because everyone was talking about respect over communication or anything else. You must respect yourself and you must respect your partner. What do you think about that?
I absolutely agree. As far as communication goes, yeah, it's super important, but over time, if you're with someone for long enough, communication, your wires are going to get crossed here and there, and you're going to say something that's going to hurt their feelings or that you didn't intend. There's going to be misunderstandings. It just happens. No one is a perfect communicator. But respect, and I'll take this back with something that you told me a while ago. Respect is so important in a relationship. You have to respect the person you're with, and not just like respect their feelings. I mean, respect who they are, everything they bring to the table. The coolest feeling is when you're with someone and you can take a step back and be like, they are awesome. Look at how much they have going for them. They're so cool. I respect everything that they're working for in their life. I want to support them. One time you told me, I can't remember how long ago it was, with someone you were with, I asked you how things were going, and you said, I don't know, Grace, she's so lazy. And I remember thinking that I told Lizzie that night, I was like...
No, you told me too. You were like, it seems like, I think you even used the word respect. I honestly remember you using it.
I knew that the relationship was going to end because laziness is, it's not people can feel lazy. I've had lazy days. My girlfriend's had lazy days. It's not anything wrong against the adjective of lazy, but if you describe your partner as lazy, it means that you don't respect what they're working towards. You don't know what they're working towards, and they've lost sight of themselves. How can you respect someone that isn't striving for something within their own life? Because a relationship is a team, and both people, if there's a weak link, the team fails. You both have to be strong individually and stronger together. Was that the Hillary Clinton?
Yeah,
was
you
that the Hillary
used
Clinton
the Hillary
campaign?
Clinton campaign.
That was
So
real
there are common
lesbian of
examples
me.
given by many of the readers, which we'll get to. Never talk shit about your partner or complain about them to your friends.
Whoops.
Oops. Respect that they have different hobbies, interests, and perspectives from you. Just because you would spend your time and energy differently doesn't matter if it's better or worse. Respect that they have an equal say in the relationship, that you're a team. No secrets. This is really important. This is how I felt when I was going into my long-term relationship that ended like almost a year ago. And I learned very quickly that no secrets is not necessarily the best idea.
No.
Some relationships should have some secrets.
No.
Maybe some mystery.
No.
Well, all right. Well, I didn't find someone who loved me and appreciated me for who I was, because I went in balls deep with the no secret notion and learned very quickly that the no secret notion leads to a lot of insecurity and also infighting constantly.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you want to say about that?
Well, I would just say that, yeah, I absolutely think no secrets, but there is also a way to be tactful in how you present the truth, because there are some things that I have done in my past that will come up that Lizzie, my current girlfriend, won't be a fan of. And the way, we don't have any secrets with each other, but the way to address it is in a tactful and respectful way, so that she knows that there's nothing to be insecure about. But I also think that in order for that to work, because you don't want to hurt their feelings by being like, yeah, I fucked that girl.
Them.
No, but in order for that to work, you also should be with someone that has an inner confidence within themselves. Lizzie is not an insecure person, so for me to, if there were to be something in my past that I would want to tell her, or something that I did that I would want to tell her that would really sort of set her off balance, it would have to be something major, because she is so secure in our relationship, and we're both really, confident people. Also, I feel like I'm jinxing everything I know and hold dear by saying this on camera, because I think a big thing of why relationships work is if you don't fucking hold so can I just say, I don't hold my relationship on a pedestal, and I don't have all the answers. I'm just giving you some advice given what we're talking about in the story. I hold
your relationship on a pedestal, which is why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because I feel like
better than anyone.
I view your relationship as better than everyone's. However, by the way, we were talking about how respect is more important than communication. However, communication is still extremely important. You must talk about things, especially if they hurt. So that was another very common concept, and we kind of briefly touched on that. So we're gonna work over it. A healthy relationship means two healthy individuals. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul. That one's pretty, that's like a mantra that everyone agrees with.
I was going to say, in the words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? And I think that is very true. You can't enter into a relationship until you have learned a deep and profound and resilient self-love. That you're going to fall here and there, of course, but you have to be able to love and respect and honor yourself and challenge yourself and motivate yourself. Don't expect that from another person. You can't unload that on someone else. If you're feeling self-loathing, or if you haven't figured yourself out yet, or you don't know what you want to do in life, I've talked to people before where it's like, I'm not great at doing this, and that, but I'm a great boyfriend. I'm an awesome boyfriend. I'm like, a boyfriend isn't a job. I'm not, that's not your goal in life.
I think you're referring to me. I think I said that.
Okay, I wasn't going to say that. You have said that before, and you are a very good boyfriend. But when you find, I think, a peace and a calmness within yourself, I think then, and I can't wait to meet her, I'm going to get emotional, then I think you will find the lucky girl. I really do. But I think that you're still a little bit of a ways away from truly just loving yourself and being comfortable in your insecurities, and also you have a lot of walls up because you want people to think of you a certain way.
Well, I've shattered them for relationships in the past, though. Is what I'm saying.
But I think that the person you were,
I've only been hurt.
Right, I know, sad boy. But I think that you need to. It's going to be when you find someone who is also ready to love themselves and for you to love yourself, and then you can love each other together. I think then that's the tricky thing is you might meet someone. I think this is really true. You could meet someone that is perfect for you, but they're just a case of bad timing. I think that's really true. That you can meet someone that is great and you really hit it off, but it's not the right time, and you should honor that. And you have proven that you will honor that. I don't know, Hasan, love is hard, love is tricky, and it's weird, and making it last so that you get that sort of deep affection for one another and deep respect, it's not easy, and I'm not even there yet myself, but it's really worth it to put in the time and effort and to just find someone that you think is like so cool.
This is like when we talk about dating and I can just go off on a tangent about something that's like moderately related to the topic at hand, but then you like go back to your own point. Like you can talk about this till the sun comes down, I think.
I love love.
Number 6, give each other space. Now, this is something I specifically want to talk to you about because you guys have been really good about that.
We have.
And what they mean is like you have to have your own support network, your own hobbies, your own friends. Obviously, they will intersect, but at some point they will.
Imagine if I had a girlfriend, but you'd never met her, and I was like, no, but she's super cool.
Yeah. No, but
she doesn't have a Facebook though, but she's really cool.
Yeah. It's my imaginary girlfriend.
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's like, Grace, that photo looks
No,
Photoshopped.
she's a lawyer though. She's like really busy.
Bro, yeah, she's just working all the time. That's why. It's like, Grace, I found the Facebook account of the person you were referring to. They seem like they have a boyfriend. What are you talking about? It's my real girlfriend. No, but seriously, I think giving each other space and having like personal space is really important. And having your own hobbies, like doing things outside of just your relationship. Because I feel like a lot of couples, especially younger couples, fall into this idea that like, oh my God, we're in love. We have to do everything together. I'm going to drop all my friends. We know people that have done that, and it's led to devastating outcomes for them because that relationship then becomes too much. Like you're too codependent, and eventually you start hating one another because you're like, I'm doing everything with you. Like, think about your family members, for example. Like I love my brother more than anyone on this planet, right? I mean, he's my favorite guy. But if I lived with him nonstop, and there have been instances for the first 18 years of my life, we'd lived together, I couldn't stand the motherfucker, okay? I can't stand him. I would not be able, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
Even if I can't love my brother that much that I can live with him nonstop, then how am I gonna love someone else in that way?
If you love someone, let them go. If they come back, they're yours forever. If they don't, they were never yours to begin with.
I thought this is important too.
A little bit of healthy space is always good.
Yeah, and okay, so the last 2 things I'm going to get to, and these are important for longer term relationships, like relationships 10 years plus. You and your partner will grow and change in unexpected ways, and you need to embrace it. So this is great because I think one of the reasons why my relationship really took a nosedive was when my career trajectory kind of changed a little bit. Whereas like originally I wasn't fully on camera, and then once I did, there was a lot of resentment from my partner who was basically, she admitted this after the fact, but that she couldn't handle it. She thought like it was kind of bullshit that I was growing pretty fast, and that led to more insecurities about her future prospects, but also about her her developing feelings of resentment. Like she used these words. And I think if you truly love a person, and think about it with your friends even, if you truly love your friends and you see them succeeding, you should get excited for them. You should help them succeed. You should propel them to the next step. If you don't, you probably don't love them, and you probably have some deep-seated insecurities within yourself that are hindering you from even opening up to this person and genuinely loving them. This is both true for your friends and your partners alike. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And yeah, you're going to grow, you're going to change, whether it's smaller things like your sense of style and how that changes. I'm sure my girlfriend's very familiar with those sorts of changes. Or it's your career or your friends or your interests. Things change, and I am not at a point in my relationship yet where I've seen any like great changes that we've had to sort of roll with. But I'm sure they're going to come, and you just have to adjust, and it's just all part of life. Life is one big movie, in the words of Joan Rivers, and things are going to change, and just because it's like the next chapter doesn't mean that you have to throw away the old chapter or whatever. It's just time to move on and embrace everything because it'll grow and it'll only make you better. Get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zones are for losers, and I stayed in them for a long time.
I'm gonna
I was a loser.
I'm gonna go through some of the quick ones, and then one that I find to be the most interesting, at least.
This is fun for me.
Yeah, sex matters a lot is one of the points, obviously. Little things add up to big things is another point. Be practical and create relationship rules is another point, and learning to ride the waves. But what I found the most interesting is learn how to fight and fight good. So that was interesting. The concept is that relationships are like a living, breathing organism, basically, and you need to work those muscles. But I do like it because there are certain rules.
It's a strong visual.
And they back this up with another relationship psychologist who mentions. Also, the other one is get good at forgiving, obviously. So that was like that's I think 2 points that kind of work off one another. So this relationship psychologist has the 4 characteristics that tend to lead to divorces or breakups. He calls them the 4 horsemen of relationship apocalypse. Yeah. So 1 is criticizing your partner's character, like saying you're so stupid or what you did was stupid. And then 2 is defensiveness, or basically blame shifting. I wouldn't have done that if I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for you. 3 is contempt. Putting down your partner and making them feel inferior. And 4 is stonewalling, which is withdrawing from an argument and ignoring your partner. And this perfectly worked with the advice that 1,500 couples gave, essentially. And it makes so much sense. And the more you get, the better you get at arguing, and the more you follow those rules, the more you can work out things.
Don't do those things, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said don't follow these rules.
Yeah, obviously.
Stonewall them.
No, obviously I'm referring to just not doing that.
Yeah.
And as any living, breathing organism that requires collaboration or cooperation from 2 totally different individuals, there will be ups and downs, and you need to ride them. But we want to hear from you guys. Do you believe in these relationship guides? You should definitely go check this article. We're going to link it in the description below.
Do you believe in life after love? Do you believe
Fuck you,
in
Grace.
life after love?
Oh my God, now it's going to be stuck in my head. I hate you so much. We'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.